All right, gang, here we go. So we're gonna start adding a little bit of color to our color wheel. You'll see I have some supplies out here. I've got my brushes. So in your supplies little bag that you got, there should have been brushes in there. These are yours to keep. You don't have to try to get these back to me. So yeah, you get some brushes out of this. I have a little cup of water. I don't need a ton. Off to the side here, I have all my little paint cups kind of sitting. You'll see I did put newspaper underneath me because it makes it easier to clean up. That way you don't get spills on your table. The other thing is, you might not be able to see me, but I have my apron on as well. So if you don't have an apron, put on an old t-shirt or whatever. You don't want to get this paint on your clothes because it's permanent and it won't come out. So you want to protect your area. It will come off the table, but it doesn't come off your clothes. You can see it's on my hands from yesterday. I was filling all of your little paint cups, but eventually that will come off. So we are going to start with color. I'm going to start with red. And at the end of the last video, I had you label every other one. So it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Remember to draw, not draw, but write very lightly. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase it. Because if I don't erase it, when I put the color on top of it, that word would show through. So I'm going to erase where it says red. That's going to be the first color that I'm going to use. And I just want to demonstrate how to paint. You can pick whichever one of these you want to use, whatever you are most comfortable with. I'm not really sure which one I want to use yet. I want to use a rounded one. We'll see. I might use the big one because it is the biggest space. So I'm going to start with my red. Now in your paint cups, I tried to fill your paint cups pretty far. You will not need all of that paint, I guarantee it. If you use all that paint, you're using way too much. And what you'll see is I'm just getting a little bit on my brush. I'm not gonna get this whole big thing full because then it gets all up and top. It's really hard to control. So I'm literally just getting a little bit of paint on my brush. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start to paint. So I'm gonna try to pull towards me, keeping it nice. And I'm just gonna push down and glide it around. So you can see I don't have a ton of paint on the paper. I don't need a ton of paint on the paper. I just need a little bit. Now for you, it'll be easy. You'll be able to turn your paper. I'm trying to not turn it so you can see it a little bit better. Got a little outside lines, which is okay, because we will eventually outline these and make them look really, really nice. I want to get that edge better. Got a little bit in my brush yet, so I'm just kind of pulling it off. Okay. Not a lot of paint, right? So then I can rinse my brush a little bit. Got a napkin, paper towel, whatever. Toilet paper if you have to. I'm sure your parents would love that. No, not the toilet paper. All right, so that's my red color. Then I'm gonna move on to the next one, okay? So the next one's gonna be orange. Remember, we skipped a spot. This one needs to stay white for right now. So we're coming over here and we're gonna do our orange. The orange and the red, when you look at the cups, they're really, really close together, but this one is your orange. So get, again, just a little bit of paint on my brush, not a ton. And again, we're doing the same thing. So if you go nice and slow around those edges, it shouldn't be too bad. And there we go, we have an orange. Again, rinse your brush. You want to make sure you get all that paint out of your brush, otherwise it will mix into the next color. Okay. And I squeeze it make sure we get it all out. Okay. The next one is yellow. Again, remember to erase that mark, especially on the yellow. That's the one that would show through the most. All right, here we go. Let's see, not a lot of paint. You don't need a ton of it. Goes on nice and smooth when you use just a little bit. I don't know if you can hear other people in the building. Everybody's zooming with this e-learning. My husband's zooming with someone. Okay, I'm gonna rinse my brush again. Then I'm gonna go to green. Brush nice and clean. Just gonna erase my green word. Make sure it's nice and clean inside there. Okay. Ooh, I almost dropped it. I almost spilled my paint. The green that you have is a little bit different from the one that I'm using. Totally fine. I thought you'd like the one that I gave you a little bit better than this one. You can see this one's just a little bit brighter. The one you have is probably more of a natural green look. Again, not a whole ton of paint. Okay, so that one's the green. Trying to get that corner the best that I can here. There we go. Rinse my brush. So the next color we'll do is blue. Alright. Okay. The blue and the purple also look very similar to each other. Oh, I almost went over the top of that word. Got to erase that. Okay. Again, just a little bit of paint, kind of pull it around. Use whichever brush you think works best for you. This one's doing okay. But it might be easier on a curved surface with a rounded brush. I almost feel like I might need to try that, so we'll see here. If I can get this corner, I don't know. Here we go. Struggling on this one a little bit. Let me try, I'm gonna try a different brush quick. Not a huge one. I'll go with this one. Let's see. Yeah, yep, that one worked better for me. So I'm gonna use that one instead to try to get that curve. That flat brush is nice, but it's harder to get that edge maybe. If you find that you're pulling on it and it's just really kind of dragging and creating like a dry look, add a little water to your brush. It definitely helps make it come off smoother. So you got that. So if I can get right on that edge, then I'll be happy with it. There we go. Add a little bit more. There we go. Bring back this brush because I liked it for that bigger area. Just kind of pull it around a little bit. Okay. And then the last one that we'll do here is that purple. Now, the purple, the purple is not my favorite. I love the color purple, but for whatever reason, the paint purple, it can be a challenge. It doesn't cover as well as I would like it to. I've tried lots of different brands, so you may end up having to do more than one coat of purple. So we'll see how it works, but just kind of giving you a little forewarning. The purple is, I don't know. And when you see your purple, it may be a little bit clumpy. Maybe just try to mix it up. If you need to, you can add a little bit of water to it too, just to kind of thin it so it's not so clumpy. But we'll try this and see how it goes. So you can kind of see it's just very translucent. So I'm going to do a coat of purple, and then I might let it dry and come back and do another one because it just doesn't cover very well. It's just a very light purple. Now, if you don't like your purple, by all means, you could try to mix a purple. All you got to do is mix your red and your blue together, and you would have a purple. Okay, well, it's not as horrible as I thought it was going to be. I'm going to let it dry, though, because if I try to keep going over the top of it, it's just going to keep moving the paint around, and it's not actually going to soak in. So I'm going to let that dry. I could use a blow dryer, I could blow on it, or I could just let it sit here. And so that's where I'm going to stop the video for right now, just so you have an idea of where the colors go. So you've got your red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and make sure you have a space in between each one.